So after the target ad was removed, our revenue went down by 70%. After just that day. So
what was this day for people that don't have context?
Okay, so the FTC, I guess, prohibited the target ads for the made for kids content from YouTube after a certain point, and that the target ad it takes the big role on the YouTube, and after that point, that's the majority of the revenue, the ad revenue. So after that was taken out from the kids content, we lost revenue of 70%.
Ryan's World made over $34 million when he was just 4 years old. But now, years later, everything is starting to fall apart in a big way. A movie that flopped badly, federal attention over claims of misleading kids, and Ryan himself, now 13, showing signs he doesn't even want to keep doing this anymore. When you really look at it, this whole rise and fall connects back to one thing. His parents built this empire, and now it's crashing under its own weight. To understand how it got this messy, you have to go back to the start. Because it didn't look bad at first. In 2015, Ryan is just 3 years old, obsessed with YouTube, watching channels like EvanTube HD where kids open toys and play games. He tells his mom he wants to do the same thing, and instead of ignoring it, they give it a shot. They go to a toy store. Ryan picks a Lego train set, they film it, upload it, and at first, it's nothing special, just a normal family having fun and posting videos. Then everything changes with one video. A giant Lightning McQueen surprise egg filled with over 100 Disney Cars toys, and Ryan's reaction is full of real excitement, something you can't fake at that age. That video blows up to over 1.2 billion views. Yes, billion! That single upload changes their lives overnight. One moment they're a regular family, the next they're running one of the biggest kids channels on the internet. And right there, they face a big decision. Treat it as a fun moment or turn it into something much bigger. They chose to go all in and fast. Within months, the channel starts growing like crazy. Brand deals show up, sponsorships, merch offers, money everywhere. Cheyenne, a structural engineer, and Loanne, a teacher, both quit their jobs to focus completely on Ryan's content. It might sound like support, but when you really look at it, things start to feel different. This wasn't just a channel anymore. They built a full company called Sunlight Entertainment. At its peak, they had over 30 employees working on this. That means salaries, equipment, production costs, all depending on one kid. Ryan Kaji becomes the center of a full business machine, and he's still just a child. They ran more than 10 channels at once and pushed out up to 25 videos every week.
So the bad news is there will be no more Ryan's Toys review. But the good news is that we're still gonna make videos. Yay! We're just gonna change the channel name, and now it's gonna be called Ryan's World. We're changing the channel name because we don't just do toy videos, we do science experiments, and we do challenges like the floor is lava.
That's not normal posting. That's non-stop production. Ryan's life changes completely. His house gets turned into a filming space with lights, cameras, and props everywhere. It stops feeling like a home and starts feeling like a studio. And his daily life, playing, eating, going out, all of it becomes content. Everything is recorded and turned into money. At that point, it starts to feel less like a childhood and more like a job. By 2018, Ryan becomes the highest paid creator on YouTube, not just among kids, but overall. He makes $26 million in 1 year at just 7 years old, and he keeps that top spot again in 2019 and 2020. The money doesn't just come from YouTube either, it spreads everywhere. There are toy lines in Walmart, toothpaste deals with Colgate, games, clothes, and even a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon. His brand is everywhere. But as the money grows, people start asking serious questions, because this entire empire is built on a child. And here's where things get uncomfortable. Unlike child actors, there were no strong laws protecting kids like Ryan in this space. Every dollar he made legally belonged to his parents. No required savings, no guaranteed trust set aside for him. He's the one working, but he doesn't control the money. Then the content itself starts to change. What began as real play slowly turns into something more controlled. Sponsored products start appearing more often. Brand deals get mixed into videos, and it's not always clear what's an ad and what's real.
If y'all please tell me why in the freak is Ryan World still making video? If y'all don't recognize who this dude is right here, and yes, I'm saying dude, he's a grown man, I'm gonna show you something real quick. This is him back in 2018. I remember as a kid, I used to see his videos all over the place. I'm like, yo, this little kid's making a lot of money. Bro, he has 39 million subs. And back in the day, he was pulling 2 billion, 1.2 billion, 400 million, 461 million. He was Mr. Beast before Mr. Beast. I recently saw this video on my timeline, and in 2025, he is still making videos. So I went on a search to figure out why. He does not want to make videos, at least from what I've heard. Apparently, bro, his parents is forcing him to make videos, and you're asking why? I'm gonna show you. Lil bro has an estimated net worth of $100 million, and this is probably not even all his money, because you know the net worth.
Ryan plays with toys, reacts, says he likes them, and his audience believes him. But his audience is mostly very young kids, toddlers and preschoolers, kids who can't tell the difference between entertainment and advertising. To them, Ryan is just another kid, not a brand. So when he shows a toy and seems excited, they trust it completely and ask their parents for it. The problem? These ads weren't clearly labeled. They were blended into the videos with no clear warning. That's when people start speaking up. Parents, experts, and critics all saying the same thing. This isn't right. And then things get serious. In 2019, the Federal Trade Commission and the New York Attorney General go after YouTube and Google for breaking child privacy laws. The claim is that they were collecting data from kids and using it to show targeted ads. The result? A $170 million fine, one of the biggest ever. After that, everything changes fast. Comments get turned off on kids' content, targeted ads get limited, and the algorithm stops pushing kids' videos as hard as before. That hits Ryan's business hard. His mom later confirmed they lost about 70% of their revenue almost overnight. Just like that, most of the money is gone. And when your whole system depends on constant growth, that kind of drop is massive. Now they still have employees, production costs, and multiple channels, but way less money coming in. That pressure doesn't disappear. It builds up, and to keep everything running, they need more content, more deals, more videos. And all of that pressure, it falls right back on Ryan. Because now it's not just about making videos for fun anymore. It's about keeping an entire business alive and pushing harder just to keep the money flowing. Around this same time, the channel changed its name from Ryan Toys Review to Ryan's World, and on the surface, it was explained as growth, like the brand was just evolving as Ryan got older. But in reality, it looked more like damage control, trying to move away from all the criticism and make things feel less like a business built on a kid. The problem is, no name change can fix the real issue, and that issue was simple. Ryan was growing up. The audience that used to watch him when they were 4 or 5 years old had also grown up, and they were no longer interested in toy videos. They moved on to gaming, social media, and content that matched their age. And even kids Ryan's age didn't want to watch someone pretending to be excited over toys made for much younger children. People started pointing it out in the comments, saying things like, "His voice is deeper than mine. Why is he still doing this?" And others saying they used to wish they had his life, but now they were just happy to be normal kids.
Ryan, are you going to keep making YouTube videos, given your interest to be an animator and maybe go behind the camera, like as you get older?
I think I will keep going for a while, yeah.
On TikTok, memes about him started getting millions of views, and it became clear that people were no longer watching the same way they used to. The biggest problem was that the entire brand was built around one version of Ryan, a very young, energetic kid playing with toys. And now that he was older, they didn't let that change. Instead of letting him grow or move on, they kept pushing the same type of content, even if he didn't enjoy it anymore. They uploaded more videos, reused old clips, and even ran long live streams of repeated content just to keep making money from whatever audience was left. They also tried new ideas like gaming and educational videos to reach older viewers, but those didn't do well either, and people started calling the content forced and awkward. By 2023, Ryan dropped to 17th on YouTube's highest earning list after being #1 for years, and it showed that the channel was no longer as strong as it used to be. But instead of slowing down, they kept going, and one moment really showed what things were like behind the scenes, which was his podcast appearance. Ryan was there to talk about his life, but his parents did most of the talking, and when Ryan spoke, he looked at them first like he was checking if it was okay. It felt like he wasn't fully comfortable speaking on his own, and when he was asked if he still enjoyed making content, his answer was very careful, and before he could say much, his parents interrupted him. Even with that, it was clear that Ryan no longer enjoyed what he was doing. He didn't want to play with toys anymore. He wanted to do normal teenage things like play sports, video games, and spend time with friends. But publicly, he couldn't really say that or act on it freely. And when his parents heard all of this, instead of slowing things down, they made a big decision to keep the brand going. They decided to make a movie. The Ryan's World movie, called Titan Universe Adventure, had a budget of about $10 million and was promoted as a big step forward for the brand, like it was moving beyond YouTube into real entertainment. But the result was the complete opposite of what they expected. The movie only made around $600,000, losing about $9.4 million, which is a huge failure. Some theaters even reported having 0 people show up for certain screenings. Not just low attendance, but completely empty rooms. By the third weekend, smaller films with almost no promotion were doing better, and the movie ended up with a very low rating of 1.8 out of 10, with many people calling it a cash grab that didn't even work. And when you really think about it, the failure makes sense. Ryan is older now, so making a movie focused on toys doesn't match where he is in life, and if the YouTube channel was already losing views, there was no reason to expect a movie to suddenly succeed. This moment showed clearly that the brand had lost touch with its audience, but even after that, things didn't slow down. Instead, they took another step that upset a lot of people. As Ryan started appearing less in videos, the focus slowly shifted to his younger sisters, Emma and Kate, who are only 7 years old. At first, they appeared alongside Ryan, but over time, they started becoming the main focus, getting their own content, their own animation series, and their own merchandise. It looked like the same system was being repeated, just with different kids, and many people online reacted strongly to this. Comments started saying things like Ryan made the money and now they are moving on to the next children, and people felt like the same pattern was happening again. It created the feeling that this cycle might continue, with the focus shifting from one child to another to keep the business going. At the same time, something important started happening outside of the channel. New laws were introduced to protect kids who appear in online content. In 2023, Illinois passed a law requiring parents to save part of the money earned from child content into a protected account for the child, and other places like California and Washington followed with similar laws. While Ryan's name is not directly mentioned, his situation clearly helped bring attention to the issue and push these changes forward. This kind of story has happened before, just not on social media. You can look at Macaulay Culkin, who earned a lot of money as a child and later had to fight for control over it, or the Olsen twins, who built a huge career as kids and then left acting once they were old enough to choose for themselves. The pattern is very similar. A child becomes successful, money grows quickly, protections are limited, and later they have to deal with what that experience really meant. Right now, Ryan is still very young, and his story is not finished yet. The family moved to Hawaii, and from what is shown online, his life looks more balanced now, with activities like tennis, skateboarding, swimming, and an interest in animation. He is still connected to the brand, but in a smaller way, mostly doing voice work or short appearances when needed. The channel still uses his name and image, but he seems to be slowly stepping away and finding his own direction. He has said that he wants to create his own animation and work behind the scenes, which makes sense after spending so much time being in front of the camera. After being filmed and managed for so long, it is natural to want more control and freedom. So now it comes down to this. What do you think about Ryan's world and how everything played out? Were his parents right to build something this big, or did they push it too far? And what do you think Ryan will do in the future? Will he start something new, like a gaming channel or an animation project? Like, subscribe, share, drop your comments down below, and see you on the next one.